Well, howdy there, partners. This is Kiram with Clear Imaging, clearimaging.com. We design wicked websites, super wicked, super fresh designs. We've been doing it for 2 decades, longer than everyone else, and we've helped tons of American companies. So come on down to clearimaging.com if you need some help. Today we're looking at a site that has a brilliant sales funnel. And the question is it perfect? The question is, how could we improve upon an already wicked funnel? So let's take a peek. We've got lifewithpaint.com, and presently the conversion rate on this homepage here fluctuates depending on what traffic is arriving on it. Certain traffic will convert higher than other traffic, but it gets around 3% conversion rate, which is amazing. But it can always be better. So let's take a peek. First things first, we're doing it really well with the header. The logo is small and simple. Header is not too deep. Got a call to action. This is a special call to action that has nothing to do with conversions and business. Typically, this would say probably book now, but this has a different purpose. This is more of a philanthropic vibe, more of a social betterment vibe. And then we've got navigation right here. So heading, the header, logo, nav, CTA is perfect. Now, if we did change Be Temperate into Book Now, we would get more conversions, absolutely. But we're willing to give that up so we can send people to thewaytohappiness.org so they can learn about being temperate. Because this is, after all, a paint and sip company. Moving along, we've got the not the header, but we've got the hero shot, as they call it, the big banner here. And what we're doing here is we're segmenting the audience. We're segmenting the traffic into different audiences. We've got people who want to do venues in person. They want to do classes in person. We've got people here who want to do private classes, and then we've got online classes. So this is really good segmenting. However, looking at it, it isn't ideal because it's a little hard to look at. It's really busy. We've got the background, this background photo showing in, which is a really good photo, which communicates, all the good vibes here. So it's a good photo. However, we've got a lot of text overlaid on it. And so it gets kind of hard to read the text, especially the smaller stuff right here. This comes through pretty good. So I think it could be redone a little bit. Additionally, we have actually sacrificed our unique selling proposition, which is not a good idea. So we've got the audience segmenting here. This section, this row of 3 columns should be moved down into here. So all of this text should be moved down here, and in its place, put the unique selling proposition. So it used to be there. It used to be something about, something about the joy of painting, or, de-stressing your life with the power of art. Something like that. So you want that unique selling proposition. So we want to move these guys down, put them here. Unique selling proposition. We solve problem X with solution Z, so you get desired result Y. That's how you formulate your unique selling proposition, your USP. So let's get that here, because people need to know what you're all about. Somebody could land on this and still not completely get it. So it's really good just to really make sure people get it. Unique selling proposition. Then we're going to segment the audience with this section. And then we've got the logos. Ideally, we would get these logos a little sooner. I would like to actually see them overlaid here, so it's in this initial view. Let's zoom. I think this is more of a typical view on a desktop. So I would really like to get those logos here, just one row. We actually don't need we don't need 2 rows. I mean, there's enough ammo here already with Coca-Cola and Google and all that. So I want to see one row of logos right here. Unique selling proposition, nice and big right here. Call to action. And then here I want to see the segmenting of these 3 columns. Next. Moving along. So we're going straight into the problem. Okay. You got to talk about the unmet need, the problem, the pain point, and you want to depict that with a photo that's appropriate. Maybe we could find a better photo, but the idea is you want to talk about the problem, then you want to talk about the solution. Okay, very important for your funnel. Knackered means tired in British and Aussie slang, and Corona is obviously talking about the COVID-19. So we're talking about them. We're talking about their unmet needs. Somebody's on this website because they want to have some fun. They're bored. They want to spice up their life with the joy of creating. So we want to talk about the unmet need, you know. Let's talk about the boredom and the lack of nothing fun to do, all that goodness. I'm going to talk about it here. Solution here, recharge your batteries with the power of painting. Comfort of your home, you can do online classes, yay, etc., etc. So we've got problem solution. This is strong. This is all good. Then we've got handling an objection. Great. This is a big objection. Never painted. I've never painted before. Look, I've never held a brush in my life. All right. And this is a testimonial. So they'd never painted before, but they did a great job and they're really happy. This is something we hear over and over again from the students. So it's a good idea to handle objections. This is the biggest one. So this is very nice, good section. If there was one thing I would throw in for this first half of the website that we're looking at, we're basically at the first half, the top of it. I would like to think about and maybe test, because it's all about testing. You should run tests every time you make a major change to your homepage. I'm thinking about an introduction section where the owner or the team introduces themselves, and maybe there's a photo of, I don't know, if they had an office, a photo of the office, or if there was a venue, but kind of to show that they're real people. Because this is quite clearly a stock photo. This is good. This is actual video of the staff doing painting. This is good. This is a real photo. But you want to get more real. You want to build up that reality. We should probably remove this stock photo and get more of a real photo, because stock photos really don't help your conversion rate. People see them and they just ignore them. So along that same vein, by making yourself more real, you're going to build more trust and increase conversions. So I'm feeling that we should have a little intro section somewhere towards the top, either right above the problem solution section or right below it. But something where we've got, you know, hey, we're Life with Paint, you know, or whatever, hi, and then some words from the owner, and then a nice photo of the team in Sydney, wearing their fun aprons, and that way you get a sense that these guys are real, and it's just going to build more reality. Because if you're on this website, you probably live in Sydney or Melbourne or something like that. Obviously you're in Australia, so you want to show your people, because people do business with people. It's a real thing. People will feel more inclined to do business if your website is more human and less corporate. All right. Now we have a section here that's broken. We're supposed to have a little bit of a gallery here showing all the delightful pieces of art. So that's an error. But the idea is we talk about problem, solution, handle objection, and now here's the product. Now we're going to have all these lovely paintings you can choose from, this being one of them. So that's broken, that should get fixed. And then the next section is some social proof, I guess you could say, or some vital statistics. This section is killer. I kind of want to move it toward the top. This actually used to be right at the top, right up here, but it was moved down a bit, but it's really potent. All right, people love hard numbers, and look at these numbers. I mean, no one's gonna lie about this. You know what I mean? You see these and you're like, oh wow, okay, this is the real deal. These people are the real deal, and that's the real objective of putting the hard numbers, is just to really pound it home, send it home, that you are real and the real deal. So this we're definitely keeping this section. This section's killer. In fact, all of these numbers are a year old. They need to get updated. They're going to be considerably higher. This is a year and a half, I think, these numbers, actually, a year and a half old. So bump those up. Then we got testimonials, can't go wrong, looking good. We're doing a little bit of, this is kind of a little random, it's kind of out of the blue. Hey, we do corporate and private events as well. I think this could be figured out a little smoother with, let's see. In fact, if we really want to do it right, you list out your services. So yeah, we're showing, yeah, we do private events, but we should also just show all of them. We should put, you see how we have these blocks? Well, maybe differently, but we need to put each of these. So right now it's only featuring private events. We should have a section for venues by location, and we should have a section for online classes. Now it could all be in one row, right? Like we can take this guy, edit this so it's just a section of 3 columns like this, right? In-person classes, online classes, private events, make it 3 sections. Or we can actually have it like this and have 3 of these whole blocks like that, back and forth. Either way, we need to spell out the services a little more. So that will help. That will help funnel your traffic to the right place, because people coming here will be coming here with a different idea of where they want to go. And this one is just kind of like a quick, I don't know, like a quick view almost. This is what we do. I think what I'm talking about right now is that this could be expanded upon. You know what I'm saying? Like we've got the audience segmenting over here, which will move down, but I think it should be expanded upon further down with some images. You know what I mean? You want to show some images of some private events. You want to show some images of people at the venue having a blast. You want to show some images of people painting at home in the comfort of their own home, right? So yeah, I still think we should do that. And as we roll along, we hit the PR section, painting with a purpose, right? Keeping it real, helping out those in need. This is a great section, build some rapport. There's a lot of businesses out there these days, a lot of websites. There's 1 billion plus websites. And one way you can really differentiate yourself in today's marketplace is to do volunteer work and help out your community. And that's a great way to build some rapport and differentiate yourself from your competition, right? People love the human factor, and if they see that you're doing good things, that you're going to win some points, all right? So it's always a good thing to have a little bit of that PR. That's what this section does. And it's towards the bottom because, you know, we're trying to do all the selling up here, and then we're just going to wrap it up down here with some assorted sections. And doubling down with those reviews by embedding Facebook reviews. You can do Google reviews, that's fine. Then we got the footer. One thing I think we need to add to this site is a call to action section down here at the bottom. I think thinking private events. All right, get a form. You always want to find some way. Obviously, it needs to work with your sales process and what you're actually doing in your company. But you always want to find a way to get a form at the bottom of your website and make some sort of a call to action to fill out this form, for whatever reason. It obviously needs to be useful, but that would be super appropriate for this company. Get a little private events form and call to action down here at the bottom. And what I mean by that is, go over here to Clear Imaging. They've got a great example. Ding, ding, ding. Something big like this, right? You can't miss it. Big heading, little subheading, form, done. So I would like to see that down here, and we'll do it for private events because that makes sense for this company's sales process. Maybe let's say you're a contractor and it would be request a free quote, right? Free estimate. If you're doing e-commerce, it's going to be different. You might have to, if you're doing an e-commerce website, you might need to offer some free resource or some free ebook or some free something down here to get that email address. Anyway, so that is that. Scrolling back up, those are some things that I would adjust off the top of my head here. It's already pretty nicely optimized, as you can see. It's doing a lot of things right. The only thing I can think with this is making it more local, making it more Australia, showing, making it a little less corporate and a little more human. So finding ways to achieve that, in other words, because that's going to build a lot more rapport. So I think if we employ what I was talking about, that could help in that direction. But there's also some things that I haven't thought of that can be done. But those are the main ones. Now, there's some other sections that could be added, but it's beyond the scope of today's video. One thing we could do is really double down on the objections, which we're not doing. We only have one objection. You could have a whole section just like this right here. So, you've got a heading and you've got 3 columns, right? And you can have one objection per column. So the first objection could be, I've never painted before, all right? Objection number 1, I've never painted before. Objection number 2, I'm worried about the COVID. That's an objection for people who don't want to come to class. Objection number 3, what else could they be? What are some reasons why somebody wouldn't want to sign up to paint? Off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but there are a few. So you could expand on that, get into some more objections for sure. Another thing I'm thinking, the testimonial section is fine, but it's not amazing. I think if we did a deeper dive on the testimonial with, for instance, this girl came and painted and she did really great and she was super happy. This would be a great opportunity to make a different section, use this photo for a different section basically, and have a featured testimonial with this person who painted this and talk about their story, in other words, wanting to get into art, then coming to life with paint, and having some trepidations, not being sure, but then ending up with an awesome painting and being super happy. You kind of make a little story out of it, right? You take a testimonial, make a story out of it. I think that'd be a great opportunity for this website to do something like that, more of a deeper dive, testimonial / story could throw in. And don't worry about having too many sections. Your website can never be too long because people will scroll all the way down. Like, believe me, people will keep scrolling. So don't worry about adding too many sections because people will literally keep going until they hit the bottom. So that would be a good section. Other than that, I think we're pretty good on the optimizations. One thing you got to make sure is you test them one at a time. You've got to test. Don't do multiple changes all at the same time. You could, but just recognize that it might be confusing if you changed 3 things and you're like, okay, our conversions went down, which of the 3 things was wrong? or were they all wrong, or were two of them right? You know what I mean? So try to be mindful of that when you are doing your testing. All right. Now, if you have a website, you should come on down to clearimaging.com and we can help you out. We've been designing websites forever. Also, we can tell you how good your website's SEO is. All right. How well it's loved by Google. So come on down to clearimaging.com. We will sort you out. We've been at it forever. You're in good hands. And just come to the contact page and let us know if there's anything we can do. Additionally, if you're watching this, you can put your website in the comments and then I can take a look at it and do a little video as a courtesy for you, so we can give you some strategies so you can get more bang for your buck with your website. All right, so thank you very much, and until the next time, take care.